Okay, welcome back to my third part of my TNA Before the Glory Impact review, my live, as well as the live edition of Reaction. And like I said, Kurt Angle won the $100,000 Battle Royal, and some people pointed out the fact that instead of doing a few interviews, a few vignettes and promos to promote that triple threat main event at Bound for Glory, that the only teaser we got was the fact that the first three participants in the Battle Royal were Angle, Anderson, and Hardy. That was it. But again, like I said, Angle won the match, says he's going to donate the money to charity. And this match, I guess, went so long that it had to go right into Reaction. And again, like I said, with Impact, they must be so used to doing tapings of not just Impact, but of Reaction as well, that the live edition of Impact, it didn't come out so well. It didn't come off so well. I mean, yeah, they did interviews and stuff similar to what they do on Reaction. I mean, and other versions of Reaction, but like I said, it didn't come out as well as those did, because when they were doing an interview with Mickie James, again asking why she was here, what her goals were, and what she was doing while she was away from the ring. During the middle of that interview, the feed cuts off, and you go right to Mike Tenay and Taz, and they're like, "Okay, what do we do?" So they improvise by kind of praising talking about Mickie James' accomplishments in the business so far, acknowledging the fact that she's a former champion in WWE. Well, they didn't say WWE, but basically acknowledging her 5 championships. Actually, it's 6 championships, but I guess like everybody else, they don't want to recognize that Divas Championship as an official championship. So, anyway, they go back to they do finally go back to the interview, and Mickie just basically says the same thing. She's here to be the Knockouts champion and make history by becoming the only women's wrestler in history, but that won all major women's championships in all promotions. I don't know if you want to include, which would be all major promotions, which right now would be WWE and TNA. I don't know if you want to put Ring of Honor / Shimmer in that category, because if you put Shimmer in the association with Ring of Honor in that category, then she wouldn't have. Then she needs to go and win that to be the only woman that's won all the championships. So, I mean, she does acknowledge that in her little promo on Impact and everything. So, and then she kind of mentions that she's been working on her album. Her album's out. She's got a single out. She was working on a music video and stuff like that. So that was kind of cool. Oh, and you know what's funny is the way I mean, this is even in closed caption, because I have the closed caption on sometimes when I'm watching something. But you know what's funny is the way the closed caption spells it, and the way TNA has her name entered in front of her, on screen. Like, if you see my name here, it says Brian Walmer, right? Which you won't, but you know what I mean, right? You can see this in other videos, my retrospect videos anyway, but you see your name there, right? Well, they didn't spell it the way she was spelled in WWE, except you do see that in her Tron. Kind of confusing, right? On her Tron, her TNA Tron, it says Mickie James, just like you would see in WWE. But when you see her name on screen, either it's in closed caption or not, it's spelled the same way you would spell Mickey Mouse's name. That's right. You don't got the I-E at the end. Instead, you got M-I-C-K-E-Y, not M-I-C-K-I-E. So, and I guess that's TNA's way of trying to avoid any legal action from WWE. But yeah, that's how Mickey's name's spelled now in TNA. I guess they're going to have to fix the Tron a little bit or something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, she's in TNA now, which I'm actually glad to see her back on television. So we'll see what role she'll play on Sunday. Then they have some other backstage interviews with EV 2.0 and how they're going to basically give Mick Foley an early Christmas present by destroying Fortune in the Lethal Lockdown. And they've all acknowledged that some of them may not get along with each other personally, but together they do have a common bond, and that's the past and what they've been through with each other. So sounds like it's going to be, I believe what we saw in that last man standing match tonight is probably going to be a little bit more, well, I think we're going to see more violence in this one, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anyway, what else? Oh yeah, we get a promo with Kurt at the end, and Kurt Angle basically says he's happy, he's on cloud 9, but then Jesse Neal comes in and says, hey, did you hear what Anderson had to say? Because Anderson earlier in the night, or earlier in the show, Reaction, basically when he was asked what Angle should do with the money, he said basically Angle should buy some integrity. So Angle hears about this, asks for the headphones and asks for the interview with Anderson to be pulled up, gets pissed at the fact, goes straight to Anderson's dressing room or locker room or whatever you want to call it, confronts him about what he said, and then as Angle's leaving, because he thinks, okay, fine, I'm just going to save it for Sunday. As he's leaving, he hears Anderson say under his breath, basically he hears Anderson calling him a dick under his breath. And Angle takes exception to that, and basically basically what happens afterwards is, a brawl does break out, a fight breaks out between the two, which goes back and forth, slamming each other into the locker rooms, kicking each other, basically beating the hell out of each other, until finally, I guess, Angle hits Anderson where it hurts the most, and yeah. That's how we end Reaction. So overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, Impact, call me loco, call me crazy, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for effort. As far as Reaction goes, I have to give it a 5 out of 10. Because through Reaction and through Impact, let's put it this way. I don't know if it was my cable company, I don't know if it was the live feed or something, but some things just, like the screen was kind of digitizing out and stuff like that. It was just, I don't know what it was last night, but again, I think TNA is so used to doing tapings instead of live shows, especially live shows on nights they don't normally do tapings, that they really need to get their act together. The last time they did live editions of the show on Thursday nights was when they were on Fox Sports, and they did these live editions of Impact in association with the best damn sports show period, or best damn sports show ever. That's the only time they ever did these live editions, on Thursdays. That was the last time. That was like 6 years ago. So again, I think it's just the fact that, they're used to doing tapings, and you know what? If I was TNA, quite honestly, I don't care if it was before the Glory, it was going to be the go-home edition of Impact. If I was them, I would have stuck to doing a taping. I don't care if I did the taping on Tuesday, I don't care if I did the taping the day before, I would have stuck to doing a taping instead of a live edition, knowing what was going to happen, knowing how fucked up it was going to be. But again, I give them a 7 out of 10, and I know that's a little favorable, but I give it for effort, because at least they tried. At least they tried. They could have done better, but they tried. And a 5 out of 10 for Reaction, because they just better stick with the taped reactions from now on. That's all I can say. But that's my overall review of last night's Before the Glory Impact Live Edition and Reaction Live Edition. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you agree, and I'll talk to you all later. Peace out.